So as you can see, it's a new day because the t-shirt has changed to Hellgast as I am getting ready for Sony's, and also because the Last of Us 1 is still airing out from me wearing it sometime before the weekend. So, Microsoft, next up on the docket. Overall, pretty good, I will say. The fact that they did the smart thing, came out straight out the bat. Project Scorpio is the Xbox One X. Not sure about the name, guys, because that sounds a lot like Xbox One S. And also the fact that it's an Xbox One, so it's not really differentiated. Further proving it really isn't a new console, it's basically just the Xbox equivalent of the PS4 Pro. It's coming out November the 7th. Compatible with all Xbox One accessories. Enhances all games. Those of you with 4K TVs get 4K versions of stuff. Those of you that don't will still get some enhanced thing, like the Pro offers, including a vapor chamber, Vape Nation, and all that. It's also apparently the smallest Xbox ever. Looking at it, it sort of looks to be, in terms of width and sort of design, sort of like a PS2, in that there's two tiers, one bigger than the other. So there's like a small chunk, and then there's a bigger chunk which sort of juts out, sort of deal, on top. So there's a small bit, and then that's on top, that juts out slightly. Sort of like the old PS2, but obviously not as thick. It looks pretty simple. However, the price at $4.99, I think, for basically just an enhanced graphics version of an Xbox One S, which they said is going to be $249.99, you have to pay double the price for slightly fancier graphics. I'm pretty sure you could probably buy a PC that can put out that sort of stuff if you shop around for in and around the 500 mark. That could probably produce enhanced graphics than a One, which you can get anyway, because the majority of all the games that they showed were, if you buy it on Xbox One, you get it on Windows 10. So, who knows? Forza 7 looked incredible. So much so that they actually debuted a brand new real-life supercar, the Porsche Carrera, the Porsche 911 Carrera GT2 RS. There, they showcased off Dubai Mountain Pass road circuit, and then I think I can't remember what actual racing circuit it was that they showed, but there's over 700 cars in game, including this Porsche. Coming October 3rd, but obviously that means November 7th when you do get your X, it'll be there already. And people at E3 can actually drive the real Porsche. I don't know whether they drive it or they sit in the car, who knows. But that looked alright. Then they announced that on top of that, they're showing, including that, they're showing 42 games. So I was going, there's a montage. I was right. The first thing they sort of opened with when they just got straight into the games was a new Metro game, Metro Exodus. It looked fantastic. I'm glad to see that franchise is back. I really hope people buy it, though, because I think the first two Metro games, especially in their Redux forms, people have only found via humble bundles and deals and things like that. It hasn't been a wow moment. I think a lot of people may have had their wow moment from that game. Probably because they didn't expect it coming, because the Metro guys were very good at not revealing that they said they were working on something, but they didn't reveal what. So it's good to see that back. Assassin's Creed Origins look good. The concepts of everything, like arrow time, where you can control the arrow to kill people. That was sort of nice. The gameplay looked good. I don't know whether that's because we've had a 2-year gap, so I'm sort of not used to it. But it looked Assassin's Creed, which is probably what it should do. But it had sort of a nice sort of aesthetics as well, in order to make it look like... Because the thing is, it was rather colourful and bright, which compared to quite a lot of Assassin's Creed stuff. I mean, 1 was obviously sort of Middle Ages, 2 and all the Ezio ones were a mix of that, but also because you're in Italy, that was a little more colour. Assassin's Creed 3 was rather dark. 4 had dark bits, but obviously because it's Caribbean, it was going to be bright. Unity was dark and dingy because it was France. Syndicate was dark and dingy because it was Victorian England. Rogue was to some extent as well, the last gen one, which I'm amazed that they haven't tried to port or anything yet to newer consoles, that is. Then they were every bit in the part they were talking about Mixer. I would recommend you go onto it though. I've set up an Xbox account of my own, just because apparently if you synced up your Mixer and your Xbox accounts, you get a whole bunch of free stuff, including an entirely free copy of Rare Replay. For that alone, I literally just set up an Xbox account. That's how good that game collection is. That it was like, what, you can get Rare Replay for free? Is there any way I can create one, considering I do have a Microsoft account for my emails? Oh, look. Boop. Done. It gave me some generic name, but I managed to change it to something I might actually remember. Then, somewhat big news, Xbox is exclusively getting, at least for consoles, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which has been doing wonders on Steam over the last few months. Then, with Mixer interactivity, so I guess sort of like Twitch interactivity style, Deep Rock Galactic, and they said first on X, I think, or certainly like launch exclusive, so it probably will be coming to possibly PC, if not PS4, somewhere down the line. State of Decay 2, which is an exclusive to the console, coming spring 2018. That looked pretty nice. Then Darwin Project, which finding out the backstory about how it's been funded by themselves. It's pretty good, but showing it in sort of a way where nobody knows what it is and getting some esports bloke on shouting about it, it's like, that's not the best way to show off your game, guys, because from what I've seen of the media afterwards, when they've actually talked to the developer of the game, or the lead developer anyway, the studio head, it looks like a pretty good game. The way it looked on the stage was just mannequin weird. So, I question why you presented it that way, because false advertising does not help games. Look at No Man's Sky. Minecraft. I didn't think I'd be excited about Minecraft, but the fact that they've announced that by this fall, not only is there going to be a super duper graphics pack, yes, that's actually what it's called, and also free updates to enhance stuff for all people that have already bought the game, yet alone the 4K update is free, and then there's also going to be the super duper graphics update, which involves shading and haze and lighting effects and whatever. The big thing is, though, was that They are making Minecraft accessible to anybody and everybody, no matter what platform you are. Mojang via Microsoft have basically revealed Minecraft. You can play on Minecraft with your friends, whether they have a mobile device like a phone or a tablet, a computer or a laptop, virtual reality, don't know whether that means HoloLens, who knows, or any of the consoles, and yes, that does include the Switch and the PlayStation 4 and your PS3s and whatever. It will all be available for anybody to play. So if your friend's only got a mobile and you've got an Xbox and one of your other friends has got a Switch, you can all play together. That's rather pleasing, because I thought Microsoft would try and restrict the shit out of it, but they're actually making it as inclusive as all hell. So good on Microsoft. I didn't think I'd say that. Then with the third-party stuff, the Dragon Ball Z fighter game, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, I think it's called. That looked pretty nice. Very Street Fighter 4 style of like 2.5D character animations in a somewhat 3D environment, but on a 2D plane. That looked very nice. That's coming 2018 as well. Black Desert Online, the MMORPG, didn't look too bad. Certainly looks more... This and Dragon Ball makes me wonder whether they're trying to target this as well towards the Japanese market, because certainly the character design of Black Desert Online is very sort of anime-ish in that respect. Then the not Blade Runner but looks like Blade Runner game, The Last Night, that looked really nice. Didn't really seem clear as to what it was. That's one I'm going to be putting a pin in and keeping an eye on when that pops again around in the news. The Artful Escape, which was like some psychedelic sort of 2D, 2.5D animated thing. I did like as well that they said it's coming when it's damn ready, taking a leaf out of, I think, Kojima's book, when he said release date when it's ready. Code Vein had a little teaser thing, which didn't look too bad. Then we got to the first party stuff. Sea of Thieves, it was a very heavily extended gameplay demo, but it looked fun. I honestly think the way it was presented was to be the thing that probably would entice children to some extent. Even though it's probably not going to be Peggy 3 or Peggy 7 because of taking down other characters as pirates. So, it'll probably be Peggy 12 or something. So, I'm not sure. I don't think it will appeal to the mass market. So, they didn't present it in that right way, but they did show you sort of what gameplay is like, and they didn't razz it up with all the fake, even though not fake, YouTuber reactions that they did on the last show, if you remember, where they had like people on ships in like teams of 4, and they're all like, "Oh, I'm on the ship, walk the plank, da 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 da." Like, it may be natural, but it just, the way it was edited, it just felt like it was forced as all hell. Tacoma, coming first to Xbox One August 2nd. That's the game from the guys that brought us Gone Home, which at first people thought was underwater, but turns out it's in space. That looked very good. Well, what we saw of it was like a 30-second teaser, but I've been keeping an eye on that one because Gone Home was very good. Super Lucky's Tale, which is exclusive to Xbox. Looks like a nice little platformer. I will say it did give me sort of shades of Ukulele to some extent. Certainly in some of the design style. That's coming out November 7th, so that will be a Xbox One X. Or I guess Xbox X. Well, I guess it's just it's on the 1, but it just so happens to coincide with that release date. Then Cuphead. Oh, Cuphead. Finally has a release date of September 29th. Which means it'll be on the show floor at the Gaming Expo that I go to, because it's the week before, and hopefully it'll be somewhat the full game so I can, like, enjoy that and probably fail at it loads of times. But just look at the animation and go, man, that's all I care about. Then, what basically was just a Crackdown teaser for what sort of looked like Crackdown 1 or 2, just with fancier graphics. I don't know if that's a great thing, but it was just Terry Crews bellowing. But, you know, the Crackdown games were fun, so if they're not changing the script on that or anything, that should be interesting. That's also November 7th, so they're tying that into the X's release as well. Then with a montage of the stuff that I managed to note down, something called Raiders, Osiris, Unruly Heroes, Path of Exile, Fable Fortune, Observer, Dunk Lords. So I guess it's like NBA Street / NBA Jam style. That's what it certainly was presented like, just with animated characters. Brawl Out, Ooblets, Hello Neighbor, Shift, Conan, and more. Then Ashen from Aurora 44 had a very nice art style, but considering there wasn't that much in terms of story, it certainly looks to be like a post-apocalyptic thing where you've got to take on beasts and all that. That was nice. We had the official reveal for Life is Strange 2. Which isn't really Life is Strange 2, because it's Life is Strange Before the Storm, so it's everything that happened before the first thing. So we've still got to meet up with Chloe by the looks of it. It's going to be a 3-part, I guess, sort of mini-series, if you will, considering we had 5 parts for the original game. I think, was it 5 or 6? I think it was 5. And episode 1 will be coming August 31st, so I'm guessing that means sort of by the end of the year, episode 3 will hopefully be out. So that should be good. Then they did an extended look at Middle-earth Shadow of War, which looked great. It had the right style of humour. It showed the right style of gameplay. The Nemesis system is back, but with a twist. Now, not only can you depose the sort of enemy leaders of Sauron's army, but you can recruit them. You can sway them over to your side and use them in sort of siege battles that you need to do in order to get access to, you know, the strongholds of each area. So that looks good. October the 10th is pretty exciting. Then the absolutely beautiful Ori is back. The trailer was great. The music was great. You know, it looks incredible. The owl at the end and Ori there, and like cuddling up to each other, and the sea of all the dead things being together. It was just like, wow, the feels. No date for that, but we did get the title, which is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That seems like a good title. They then announced that later on in the year, original Xbox titles are going to start to be added to the backwards compatibility stuff. So that means your old stuff like Crimson Skies. I mean, I'm trying to think back to original Xbox in terms of stuff that I guess Morrowind? Because Morrowind was original Xbox. The original Far Cry in both its forms. I think it was like Instincts and Predator, from what I remember, for both 360. Well, one was only on 360, I think it was Predator, and then the other one there was like both versions. I don't know what the difference is. I bought them. Trying to think, Hidden and Dangerous probably would have been on that. Blinks the Time Sweeper. It's sad that that's the first one I think of off the top of my head. So all the other stuff like Halo would have already been ported. I guess Gears 2? Because we haven't had that ported over yet, I think. Because that was original Xbox. Because Gears 3 I think was 360 only. Either way. They also said that current games like Gears 4 and Forza Horizon 3 and a whole lot more are going to have free 4K updates for people that already buy the game and have an X, or pick up an X I should say. And it also goes into third party stuff like Resi 7 and FIFA, well not FIFA, sorry, Resi 7, Final Fantasy 15. Sorry, I just saw lots of F's in my notes and I thought it was FIFA. And Rocket League, to mention a few. And then they showcased off Anthem, the open... I mean, the Destiny thing is a fair comparison, but certainly it looks, at least in presentation, much more impressive than Destiny. There seems to be a lot more expansion because you're in sort of mech suits that can do like Iron Man sort of jetting around, and you're getting XP for exploring and getting areas, very much like the original Deus Ex. It looked interesting. It looked good. Then again, so did Destiny, and we all know what that turned out to be. I don't think BioWare would try and do that. You know, some people are on the fence. You know, some people are divided on Dragon Age Inquisition, but we know BioWare can do a good RPG. We thought we knew that Bungie could, because of Marathon and all that back in the day. But I guess they got distracted by Halo for all those years. So overall, Microsoft somewhat delivered. The one thing I will note that could be an issue, there are not that many Xbox exclusive titles that were shown that are coming this year. And I'm talking sort of like the AAA sort of ones that will sell systems at the holiday. You know, Forza, to some extent, I'd argue, would be one. Crackdown 3. Super Lucky's Tale, at least for the kids as well. But everything else, I mean, if you look at it, Metro is not, Metro is not console exclusive. That's 2018. Assassin's Creed Origins is not console exclusive this year. State of Decay 2, 2018. Darwin Project, I don't know because I didn't make a note of a date, but I don't remember seeing it. The Dragon Ball Z game, 2018. Code Vein, 2018. Sea of Thieves, 2018. Middle-earth, again, not console exclusive. Ori 2, I'm guessing that's 2018. They didn't give a date from what I saw. And Anthem isn't till at least 2018. So the question is, what can Sony deliver in terms of exclusive experiences for PS4? Because I believe if they do that, we might be seeing another holiday season where they dominate the market. Because I question whether people will actually want to buy a $500 console for games. I don't mind a free one, so if anybody wants to send me one. No, actually, I'm not that cynical. I think.